Hi friends, and welcome back to my channel. Here I am with another one of my crazy videos talking about my creative week and what I've learned this week, in the hopes that it will help you too to learn something and to get out of your comfort zone, because that is what I'm doing a lot of at the moment. For example, this morning I thought to myself, what would I like to do most? And I thought, yeah, I would just like to work on my song, okay? And then I thought, no, Chloe, because the thing you're supposed to be doing is getting out of your comfort zone and being okay with being uncomfortable. So here I am on camera again, being uncomfortable. Welcome to my little world. I've brought along my sunshine bear with me. Yay! For giving us some happy sunny vibes today. And I actually want to start the video by saying thank you so much to Cupcake Guardian. She made this lovely comment to me last week saying about how sunny and happy I was, so I hope that I can bring you some more sunshine today. And yes, here we are in my room with lots of dolls collections around me. As you can see, I love dolls. And these ones are all on display, which is really nice. I've got lots more that I would love to have on display, but finding the space, oh my goodness, that is a challenge. So yes, here we go. I'm just going to talk about my creative week, and hopefully, like I said, something useful will be in there for you too. So my challenge this week was to be more visible and especially post on social media more. And so here's a list of what I have actually managed to do. Which I think was a win, probably. Thinking about, before this I've been posting one video on YouTube every 2 weeks and just about managing to share that. This week I did 5 posts on my Instagram, including 1 reel, 2 carousels, 2 single posts, and then I also did 1 video post, a reel post on my Instagram for my band, Cherry Scream. And then on YouTube I did 1 long form video, and I made a short form video from the long form video, and I also made a short post for my band as well, on my band YouTube channel. And then on Facebook I posted a different reel for band, and I did 1 post of me to do with the video, I think, to do with the YouTube video. And then in the group I was in the Facebook group I was in, I managed to share my YouTube video, a journal page, and a reel from the YouTube video. So that's the first question I have for you guys actually is it infuriating when people create content, like a short form content from the long form content, or is that okay? Because obviously I'm working full time, and trying to do the creative stuff around my job is a real challenge, because I run my own business, so that involves a lot of admin as well as the hours I spend helping my students. So is it okay if I share something as a reel that was in my main video? Please tell me, I would love to know, because I'm always thinking of it like, oh, it's so annoying, like, am I being annoying? But then perhaps people don't see them all, Perhaps people just see one of them. They maybe see the Instagram reel, or maybe they see the long form, or maybe they're not really watching shorts, so they don't see a short anyway. Anyway, let me know. Let's have a discussion about it in the comments. And especially if you're introverted like I am, I'm extremely introverted. Oh my goodness, I don't even want to be doing this right now. I don't know why I am. No, I'm doing it to get out of the comfort zone. So yes, if you're introverted too, and you're trying to struggle with your issues of sharing and talking more to people and being more confident, then let me know. Is it infuriating if I start posting more stuff? I don't know, because I'm always afraid, like, people will think, there's Chloe talking about herself again. Like, how infuriating is that? Do you know what I mean? Like, she's just talking about herself again. I don't know. So let me know in the comments what you're thinking. So anyway, let's talk a bit about the week. So yes, I did manage to do all those posts. So I would say, I'm going to say that was a win. Yay! The Sunshine Bear says it's a win as well. So we'll say that was a win for our very first week of this new strategy. The challenging thing about it was that although I did all these posts on social media first of all, it made me feel hugely overwhelmed. Like trying to do it with everything else was like super overwhelming. So I've got to find a way to integrate it into the creativity. That's what we were talking about. I had a group coaching call this week and we were talking about that, how you needed to integrate the social media posts into your creative flow, and I definitely didn't do that this week. I feel like the social media posts were my creative flow, you know? So I've definitely got to find a way to do that more. And I also noticed that I very carefully sidestepped the issue of sharing myself singing and creating music, right? I think I did one video where I was singing, and I did, so the band video, I guess that counts as well. That's a live gig highlights reel. So that's maybe two posts out of all those posts that were me actually making noise as a musician. So still a long way to go, right? And next thing, oh no, lost my thread, but I'm not going to stop. I'm not allowed to stop. Even if we lose a thread, everyone loses their thread, right? So yes, I think that's what I was saying, that I spent way too much time doing social media posts and not enough time being creative. Because if I think about the amount of time I spent being creative, I spent 2 hours at band rehearsal, which was actually really fun. We had a fun one, and we finally had our guitarist back. They've been in Hong Kong, and it's finally really good to have Kenji back with us playing guitar. So that was fantastic. I did 1 hour on my backing track for that song. Sorry, well, I call it Sorry Not Sorry for short. But anyway, 1 hour. That's like nothing. But that's because I got to the weekend. I had some brilliant social stuff planned at the weekend. Then by the time I'd done all that, my house was an absolute tip. Like, I mean, total tip. So I had to clean some of it up. And then I had some stuff to do for work on Sunday. And then I had to do an application for Battle of the Bands, which I did do. So, yay, I did do that. Yes, I applied for the Battle of the Bands in my hometown. And that is coming up in August. So hopefully Cherry Scream will be on the bill there and rocking away in Vale Park. So let's hope that's the case. Right, okay, so I spend too much time on one of these social media posts. But then is that, I don't know, this is really chaotic, today's video, isn't it? I think I need to remind myself something that I wrote in my journal. So here's my journal. Journal all the time. If you don't journal, I would say start journaling, because it's how I started to be kind to myself, actually. You know that voice that we have inside that says, oh, you're rubbish, oh, you're so embarrassing, you know that one. It's probably going on now, like, what are you doing in this video? So I started to use my journal as a counter to that voice. So I write things to myself that are really nice things that I would like to hear. Like, I would like somebody nice to say to me, like the kind of encouraging things I say to other people. But, you know, we're so mean to ourselves, aren't we? Like, just like pick the worst of things and focus on that. So anyway, here's a bit of advice from my journal this week. Although these things feel chaotic right now, you will get everything under control again. Trust in your own abilities. I believe in you, and I believe in you too, wherever you are in the world. You can do it. Whatever you're struggling with, you can definitely overcome it and come out the other side stronger. We just have to go through that awful, awful part where we're all feeling like, oh my goodness, what am I doing? What am I doing? This feels so terrible, so embarrassing. Why am I talking like this? It's too much. You know what I mean? I'm sure you know what I mean. Right, so yes, the thing I need to do next week then, let's be very focused about this. The thing I need to do is to share more of my music, because that's definitely what I've been avoiding. Definitely need to do that. And I also need to make sure that the social media comes out of what I'm doing creatively. So For example, I wrote this massive long list when I realised that I had not been sharing enough music. I wrote this massive long list of 7 songs that I could share, but then that's not the first thing that I need to do this week, right? Sharing 7 songs. Because the first thing that I need to do is I need to finish that backing track so that I can get the song to the band so that we can start working on it in band. Because until I do that, that song is still stuck here with me. Well, I shared it with you as well. But yes, it's still stuck in this internal loop until I get it out to the band. Then we can share it with an audience. So that is obviously the priority this week. So somehow I have to find some social media out of that. Don't know. The only thing I did learn this week, which is, so I was using a software program called Dorico for a bit because I didn't have a laptop, and recently I bought a new creative laptop, and thank you, some people gave me some money on Ko-Fi because they've enjoyed my music, and my goodness, what a difference that made. Thank you so much. That really helped me to buy the new laptop. And also my lovely dad gave me some money, thank you Dad, and some money that I saved up myself. And so yes, I was able to buy a new laptop, finally able to use MuseScore again, because warning for you people, if you buy an iPad, which I did, you can't use MuseScore on an iPad. Like, what? So I was using MuseScore for ages, which is a software for writing out your music score. Does that make sense? You know, like your musical score. I can't even see a piece of music manuscript, like music manuscript on a computer, right? And yeah, I was using that, and then got an iPad, couldn't use it on the iPad. So I had to swap to Dorico for a bit, which is another one. And then, of course, now I'm back to the laptop, so I was trying to work out how on earth do I move this file across. But anyway, if you do have this problem, the file is XML, a music file, and then you can share your project from Dorico into MuseScore, which I managed to do. Incredible. So yes, we're one step closer. But I did make a plan about how I was going to complete the demo. Here's my big plan. And I worked out it was probably going to take 9 hours to complete the demo. Because I was at the weekend like, oh yeah, I can do it. But I already had like a bazillion other things I had to do. So yes, 9 hours to focus this week. So there's the challenge, right? Focus on completing that Dorico demo. Somehow create some social media posts out of it so that I can actually share the thing with the band. So, is any of this useful to you guys? I really don't know, and I think that some of this comes down to my last point really, is that even though you feel like you don't know what you're doing in life, and you feel chaotic and you feel conflicted and you're like, I don't know what I'm doing, what am I doing, you know the feeling? Like, I'm sure you get it, right? When you're just out of your comfort zone, you're like, what am I doing? I don't know what I'm doing. And you just feel like you're careening around, or that's what it's felt like to me this week, that I'm just sort of hurtling around. I think I wrote something about it, about being visibly dreadful, which is what we're doing right now in this video, is being visibly dreadful. And yes, here I am, being visibly dreadful with a chaotic cacophony of exploding ideas. That kind of sums it up for me. So, yes. But I think the thing is, even though that's what you feel like, you've just got to keep going. You've got to have this like inner conviction that somehow you're going to work it all out. And that's what I have. Somehow I'm going to work it all out. Somehow I'm going to get to the point where I don't have to take on so many students, because the creative things that I do, like write music, somehow I'm going to get paid for them. And don't ask me how. I mean, because I don't even know how I'm going to get paid for them. Because it's all about valuing yourself, isn't it? So within that, I've got to value myself, just like I've got to make sure that I think I'm worth seeing, like this video, like I'm worth being visible, really. I don't know, I make some funny faces, maybe that's good. So anyway, you can tell me, like, first of all, tell me, are you having these struggles in your life? And if you are, my goodness, I understand. And I want to say to you, just keep going, keep trying, okay? Believe in yourself, because somewhere in that belief is the seed of what you're going to do in the future. And I totally believe that. I believe that for me, and I believe that for you. And I think the only way that you can move forwards is by taking action and just going for it. So that's what I'm going to do this week, and I hope that's what you do this week. And yes, I think that's everything. Yes, you've just got to act as if you know exactly what you're doing, and then things start to fall into place around you. I really hope that's true. Let me just check my notes to make sure if there was anything else that I wanted to say today. Oh yes, I was hoping this coming week that I will get less uncomfortable with all this posting and being sociable and all that stuff. That would be helpful. It would take less of my nervous energy. So yes, come on, I can do this. I'm gonna do all that stuff within the flow. You're gonna have a great week too, and I'll see you again this time next week. Thanks so much for listening to my ramblings. Really, sometimes I don't know why you are, but thank you if you are. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. Alright, have a lovely day. Bye.